and on the right, it's the front of the building. This is a special, beautiful, historic building in Chambéry, and it's adjacent to it is another building. This, for those of you who are not familiar with Madrid, this building is located in downtown Madrid, and it is not at all unlike having a campus with a few acres in the middle of Manhattan, for example, or in the middle of Chicago, or downtown San Francisco. This is a rare and special campus. It is historic, it is beautiful. We are going to have the campus in our possession after all of the renovations are done and all of the improvements are done in the third week in July. It will be a place that is not purpose-built, but purpose renovated so that we can offer the kind of student-centered, joyous, remarkably transformative education that we are so excited to bring to Madrid. So let's take a few peeks. Looking from above, we can see Calle Ilo Gonzalo is along the bottom margin of the screen. Looking from above, we can see the two gray masses. The one roughly horseshoe-shaped mass in the middle is a former, the second homeopathic hospital in Europe. It has very good bones. It was all about healing, and it will now be all about transforming. And then the gray mass on the corner is a beautiful Moorish palacete. But that's not all about this campus. The campus also, even though it's in the middle of the city, is going to have a full-size sports court, 5 different areas for students to gather and play, outdoor seating, outdoor dining. There will be gardens, there will be verdant spaces, there will be opportunities for kids and adults to learn outside and to learn together in a space that is a beautiful oasis in the midst of a paved city. It is one of the great joys of my life that I'm going to be able to lead this school in such a beautiful place with such high intent to serve kids the way they need to be served. So it's a very special space. So next slide, please. Our classrooms are going to be flexible. They're going to be beautiful. They are going to allow us to teach the way that we believe our students need to be taught. They will be able to, our youngest students will be able to operate within a framework that as they get older, will grow with them. And the basic architecture of the classrooms will be, in some cases, very similar from grades K3 all the way up to grade 8. And yet the classrooms are going to be articulated in ways that will allow those different age kids to be entreated to different pedagogies based upon what their needs are. Those of you who have been to our campus have seen the raw material that is this beautiful, historic, spacious, warm, inviting space. And as the construction crews get in there, it's going to become even better. So next slide, please. So I'd like to wrap up for a moment, and then I'd like to turn it over to fellow panelists if they have any questions that they've read in the chat that they'd like to offer answers to. And the question, to wrap up, the question that I asked you at the beginning, what really makes us different? What really makes us different is incredibly important for you to ruminate on. What makes us different and how that could matter for your family, for your child, for you as a parent is another question worth ruminating on. What the promise I can make to you is that we will do everything we possibly can to serve your child the way he or she needs to be served, to help them first and foremost to understand themselves as a learner, to prepare the environment so that their learning is uninterrupted and joyous and rich, the boundaries of which will extend into into Madrid, into your households, into their dreams at night. And I will tell you, having worked at Brewster for as long as I have, and having worked at a few other very special schools, where the culture and climate is all about transformation, and the culture and climate is imbued with a radical and beautiful care for kids. The greatest responsibility and the greatest joy of my life Shirley is working with this very fine team and with beautiful families and children to help them to understand that we really are very different. Our intent is very specific, our means are very well developed, and most importantly, we have a lot of experience. On this team, we're somewhere around 150 years of combined teaching experience, even though we have a few people who have not been at it very long. Nancy and I alone have been at this for over 70 years. And this is our work, this is our vocation. And the thousands of kids that Nancy and I have dealt with, and the thousands of parents we have dealt with, I would like to think that people would say that we've made a difference in the lives of children, and we've made the difference in the lives of families. And that's what we want to do here in Madrid. I would like to turn attention just for a moment to this admissions process and to reiterate something that Natalia said. And that is our admissions process is when these conversations begin. And we really want to understand your child. We really want to understand what your aspirations are as a parent. We want to have deep and meaningful conversations. In the background is this fuzzy picture of Brett working with a student, but our education as teachers, our education as school leaders begins with those conversations. And those are going on quite a bit right now. Demand for what we offer just keeps growing and growing and growing. We have opened up slots on Saturdays for those conversations. We call them interviews, but they're really conversations with children and with families. We encourage you to go to the Inquire button at the top of our website, and that will allow you to fill out some information, and then you'll be able to sign up for one of these conversations, one of these interviews. And we look forward to having those conversations with you. And know that when we have those conversations, we are not going to be selling something. We are going to seek to understand how to answer those three questions. Can we challenge and support the child? Are the parents game to partner with us in ways that will allow the child to become a great adult? And finally, do we believe the child will add to our community? And these are great questions to ask. These are great questions to answer. I've talked for too long. Let me ask my fellow panelists if I've left anything out, or if there are any unanswered questions that we can attend to.
Craig, thanks so much for sharing. I think we've done a good job at managing the Q&A here, answering to folks either privately or publicly. One question, people are just asking Craig about technology and how that'll be used. I know we touched upon that. One question specifically, will children use books and pen and paper, or strictly laptops? And I think we have a good answer for that if someone wants to take it on.
Sure. Yes, they will use books and pens and paper and laptops, and potentially certainly smart boards and iPads and GPS units. They will use technology as tools to augment the kind of learning that we wish to have them engage in, but we will not be utterly dominated by technology. In fact, one of the very many ways in which we endeavor to engage with your kids is to help them to be responsible consumers of technology and understand all of the deleterious consequences that come along with it. John, Brett, anything to add to that?
No, I think that's great. The balance, a real balanced approach to technology, and certainly books are so important in the classroom. And it's easy to say, oh, let's just use the iPad, but we also know that books, handwriting, really important. And it is also offers a great response to the emergence of GPT, and it allows us to ensure that our students are working with integrity and always representing their own ideas.
So to close, you will be able to also sign up for a tour. And the tour is really not just a tour of our facilities. It's a tour of how we think as educators. There are a bunch of visuals. We have a video. Please join us there. So to summarize, we are different. We want you to inquire. We want you to sign up for a discussion with us, and we invite you to come for a tour. So we thank you.
Thanks so much, Craig. So with that said, everyone, there's some common questions and answers that you can find on our website under the FAQ slide here. So please check that out and see any other questions that may have come up, and we'll post more from the webinar there as well, so you can stay up to date. And thank you. Muchísimas gracias. We are really excited to be a part of this project. And if there's one thing, right, that Craig said, I mean, I think you see it, but we're all extremely passionate educators that care about your kids, that care about the success of them as young children and adults at both our school and life beyond. So if there's anything we can do to help you feel like this is the right place for your student, child, we're here to chat with you. And we look forward to continuing the conversation. Until then, hasta luego y nos vemos. Bye.
Thank you all.